Welcome back. If you or a loved one suffers from cognitive decline, memory loss, dementia, or even early stage Alzheimer's disease, then you do not want to miss what our next guest has to offer. Communications Director from Integrated Health Center of the Rockies, Amanda Vargas, shares the amazing progress that has been achieved in the field of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's care.
Amanda, good having you back.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk about this. So I know we've said this before, but it bears repeating, and that is, out of all the chronic diseases one can get, we fear no other, like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And why is that?
Well, there's a couple of reasons for that, Gina. The first one being that it's the only one of the nation's 10 most common causes of death in which there is no effective treatment, or until now. And secondly, not only is it fatal, but it robs these victims and their families of their lives long before they're actually gone. So if you think about it, it's the only disease in which the patient dies not just once, but twice. The first time when they lose their memory and all mental faculties, and then again when the rest of them finally die. So it's a very excruciating experience for everybody who's involved.
And the loved ones, of course, as well. All right, well, let's remind everyone you have a free cognitive dinner event coming up. The phone number is 303-974-1087. That's the number to call to see if you qualify. Seating is limited, so you want to make sure you call that number right now. So when working with doctors the way you have, let's talk about what typically is the experience of someone who is really dealing with some of these things like cognitive decline and maybe Alzheimer's disease.
Well, it usually starts innocently enough. So maybe they're forgetting things here and there, like they can't remember where they put their keys, or they're forgetting why they walked into a room. They're standing there wondering, why did I walk in here? And this is something that's happening multiple times a day. Or maybe they notice they're not quite as sharp as they once used to be. And what's really interesting about a lot of our patients that we see is that they chalk up these symptoms to the aging process. Maybe they say to themselves, you know, I think these are just senior moments. It's fine. It's just because I'm getting older. When in reality, that's not the issue. And a little time will go on and other people will begin to notice. So maybe these patients are having trouble putting names to faces, like they're forgetting their grandchildren's names or their husband's names even. And you know, maybe they're having to rely very heavily on calendars and note-taking just to keep things straight. So it becomes very clear very quickly that something is going awry and this person has a failing brain.
And then some, but not all, actually then go and see their healthcare providers. So what then do they normally experience?
It really just depends on what they're experiencing when they go in and how diligent that healthcare provider really is. And you know, up until recently, there really wasn't any definitive testing that would allow a clinician to make a concrete diagnosis. So it's not unusual for these patients to get the runaround. And if and when they're formally diagnosed with a serious condition like early stages of Alzheimer's disease, they're often told it's too late. They need to get a power of attorney assigned, they need to get their affairs in order, and it's just a really dark time.
Well, dark and scary for so many people who already feel like maybe that's not where they are and they're worried about things. But we understand the tides have changed a bit, and a solution for some at risk of suffering from any of this that we've been talking about is right here, right now. Tell us about what's going on at IHCR.
So we now know through science and clinical experience that the symptoms of these conditions are not only preventable, but they're actually reversible as well. And what's really exciting is we now know what is causing these conditions. It's not the amyloid plaquing like we thought it was in the brain the whole time. And what's really amazing is that there's new technology and a new treatment approach that is allowing these conditions to reverse with a success rate of over 90%.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for just a second to remind everyone about this. We have a free cognitive decline dinner event. The number's 303-974-1087. You really want to call that number to see if you qualify because the seating is very limited. Now, I did not let her off the hook. We're going back to Amanda to talk exactly about what kind of results you're seeing.
We are seeing patients going back to work. They're able to drive again. They're getting their memory back. They're able to function in their normal lives again. And this is just a handful of the benefits of going through this program. It's really amazing what we see day to day with these patients.
Amanda, when you come here and talk about this, it's really interesting and remarkable to hope that you give people and remind everyone again about the wonderful free event that we have going on. 303-974-1087 is the number to call. call. Quickly though, when we talk about this, who should be coming to these events we're talking about?
Well, if you or a loved one are suffering from any of the symptoms associated with cognitive decline, dementia, or early stages of Alzheimer's disease, like difficulty reading, writing, speaking, having trouble putting names to faces, you're getting lost driving on routes like going home, I highly recommend that you give our office a call to see if you qualify for this free event. It's something that could save your life.
Reserve your seat for the free Cognitive Decline Dinner event, which is Tuesday, December 3rd at 6 p.m. Call 303-974-1087 to see if you qualify to attend this free informational event on reversing cognitive decline and the symptoms of early stage Alzheimer's disease. IHCR paid for this segment. Stay with us.